While you're getting ready and figuring things out, your best years are bleeding away. Every day you hesitate is a day you'll never get back. This habit stops the bleeding, but only if you start today. I know what you are thinking. You believe you are being prudent. You tell yourself, I need more research, or I am still getting ready, or I need to figure a few things out first. But I tell you this truth without apology. That inner voice is the single greatest lie that will rob you of the life you were meant to command. Every day you hesitate is a day you will never get back. And that hesitation is not wisdom. It is a slow, self-imposed poverty that will cost you everything you wish to achieve. You may worry that it is too late. You may feel that time is slipping through your fingers like sand. And I will be honest with you. The time that has passed is gone forever. You cannot reclaim yesterday's wasted hours, nor the years you gave to confusion or low expectations. But the time that remains, that time is sacred. It is the only resource left that matters. You are likely waiting for the right time to start. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand, and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. The habit of procrastination is a common enemy which practically every person must conquer. We are going to attack this enemy immediately using the master law of decision. This habit stops the bleeding of your time, but only if you start today. You are not too late, but you do not have time to waste. The mastery of procrastination. Why you are still getting ready. Let us begin with the brutal truth of your current condition. You are stuck because you are waiting for a guarantee of success that will never come. No great fortune is ever built on a foundation of certainty. No empire is ever launched without a significant risk of failure. The moment you demand certainty before you act, you surrender your life to paralysis. Every great fortune, every great discovery, and every great life was built upon a definite decision made under the shadow of doubt. I have spent decades analyzing the laws of success and failure, examining the lives of the wealthy and the lives of those who perished in poverty. My analysis of over 25,000 men and women who experienced failure disclosed that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. Think of that truth. It is not the lack of intelligence, nor the lack of schooling, nor the lack of money that holds men back. It is the simple, devastating failure to reach a decision promptly and to stand upon it. You must stop figuring it out and start deciding. There's a vast difference between thought and action, and that difference is bridged only by the act of definite decision. Lack of decision is the silent assassin of opportunity. It allows 1,000 possibilities to pass away simply because you could not choose one to nurture. The man who delays his decision is, in effect, signing a contract with confusion. He says, I will remain in mediocrity until the world removes all doubt for me. But the world does not remove doubt. It rewards the man who cuts through it with the sharp knife of final decision. The time you spend waiting for clarity is the time the decisive man spends building the very structure you wish to join. The habit of delay begins quietly. It is a small thing to say, I will start tomorrow. But repeat that small thing 100 times, 1,000 times, and you have constructed a life defined by unfulfilled potential. Delay is a compound interest debt on your future. You pay not just with the time you lost today, but with the momentum and capital you failed to generate for tomorrow. If you feel behind, if you feel that the years you have lost are too great a deficit, then your only chance is to stop the bleeding now. The way you stop it is not through more planning, but through the immediate, uncompromising law of decision. You must understand that even a wrong decision, quickly made, is often superior to no decision at all. The wrong path provides immediate feedback, allowing you to adjust. The path of indecision offers only stagnation. Look at the history of nations, and you will find the law of decision written in fire. Consider the story of the 56 men who signed the American Declaration of Independence. They were not figuring out a safe path. They were not waiting for the British Empire to give them permission. They reached a decision that could have and likely would have, ended their lives. Every man who signed that document knew that if the colonies lost the war, he was signing his own perishment warrant. He was signing away his family's comfort, his wealth, and his safety. But they reached a decision promptly and stood by it. This definite, swift decision gave birth to a nation. They did not wait for the perfect army. They did not wait for the perfect financial backing. They simply decided. They took a stand, and their certainty magnetized the resources they needed to secure their freedom. The clarity of their decision attracted the necessary support. Your struggle may not be as grand as founding a nation, but your personal freedom is just as sacred, and it will require the same kind of swift, final decision. The scale of the risk is irrelevant. The definiteness of the choice is everything. Action. Step 1. The 60-second rule. The great gulf between the man who builds a life of command and the man who merely labors is the swiftness of their decisions. Here is the law. Reach decisions promptly and change them slowly, if at all. People who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly, and change them frequently and often. This is the hallmark of the weak will, the confused mind, and the man who cannot decide on his purpose. From this day forward, when a choice is presented, a new plan, a call to action, a necessary change in direction, you have 60 seconds to choose your path. I mean 60 seconds of silence, focused inner counsel. You must learn to trust your internal counsel, for if the idea is based on your definite chief aim, your instinct is likely correct. Do not spend hours debating. Do not spend days seeking opinions. Decide. Do not mistake this for recklessness. This swiftness applies to the general direction and the commitment to move, not to the final details of execution. The direction must be chosen quickly. The execution should be planned with care, but the commitment to move must be instantaneous. The wealthy know what they want, and they get it without delay. The poor do not know what they want, and therefore get nothing. To help establish this habit, carry a coin with you. When faced with an immediate choice between action and delay, between work and distraction, flip the coin. The moment it lands, make the decision that the coin dictates. The point is not the coin's random choice, but the speed of your commitment. You are training your mind to stop the analytical paralysis that is stealing your time. Action. Step 2. Eliminate the alibi. The delay in decision is always protected by the great wall of the alibi. I once compiled a list of the 57 famous alibis that men use to defend their lack of achievement. These are the sweet, quiet lies you tell yourself in the morning when you're meant to be taking action. They sound like this: if I only had time, or if conditions were right, or I am too old now to begin, or I need to talk to my spouse first, or the most pernicious one, I need more capital before I can risk it. Recognize this painful truth. You create these alibis to defend your lack of achievement. They are not reasons. They are excuses. They are the self-betrayal that allows you to remain small and comfortable in your confusion. They are the language of internal servitude. Your job is now to become a hunter of your own excuses. Every time you delay, write down the reason you gave yourself. You will find that the same 2 or 3 lies repeat endlessly. When you see the lie, you break its power. You must treat your alibis as infectious diseases that, if left untreated, will claim your entire life. The truth is, the successful man rarely speaks of his own alibis because he has none. He simply moves. He does not stop to explain why he cannot. He moves to discover how he can. The man who is truly busy building his fortune has no time to rationalize his inaction. Action. Step 3. Start where you stand. The final trap of procrastination is the belief that you must be perfectly equipped before you begin. You believe you must wait for the right tool, the right degree, or the right amount of funds. This is the myth of the perfect starting line. You must understand that the wealthy did not begin with the tools they have now. They began with a single, definite idea and the tools they had at hand. The man who waits for the perfect lighting, the perfect camera, the perfect plan, or the perfect savings account is the man who never starts. Do not wait for the right tools. Use what you have now. Your first tool is your mind, and your second is your existing network. Leverage those two. A man who begins with a pencil and a piece of paper and a definite decision will always outrun the man who waits for a fully funded business plan and a perfect office. The energy created by immediate action will always outpace the inertia of perfect planning. The decision itself is the greatest tool. It is the lever that multiplies your energy. When you commit, your mind goes from seeking permission to seeking solutions, and the universe always provides solutions to a definite, unyielding decision. Your time is now. Affirm this aloud now. I am an artist of decision. I refuse to trade my life for confusion. I decided now, and I will move now. The preparation trap, mastering the fear of criticism. Let us now examine the great deceiver that poisons your time, the trap of preparation. You believe you are cautious. You call your inaction thorough preparation. But I will teach you the difference between preparation and fear. What you call preparation is often just a mask for the fear of criticism. You are hiding behind endless research and meticulous planning because you are afraid to step out and be judged. You fear the opinion of failure. You fear the laughter of the mediocre. You fear the casual dismissal of your family or friends, or the sting of a co-worker's jealousy. And so, to stop the bleeding of your time, you must immediately close the door to these negative influences. My study of the 6 basic fears, poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and passing away, revealed that the fear of criticism is the one that most quietly and completely destroys potential. It is the insidious enemy that keeps the late bloomer in the shadows, trapped in the cycle of getting ready. This fear is the reason you prefer anonymity to action. You think, what will people say if I fail at my age? I should have done this 10 years ago. They will laugh at me for trying now. This is the poison of social heredity. You are not just inheriting the opinions of your critics. You are accepting the same low expectation that limited them. The voices of your environment, your family, or your friends who have settled for less are the chains that bind you now. You are allowing others to define the boundaries of your purpose and the potential of your remaining years. This fear, above all, is the reason you are still reading books on success instead of living its reality. Your job is to break the genetic chain of mediocrity. The man in the mirror. I know the exact moment a man begins to claim his freedom. It is the moment he conquers the face of fear staring back at him. I once knew a man in Chicago. He was a tramp, defeated and self-destructive, convinced that he was a victim of circumstance. He was led to a mirror, and I told him to look at the man staring back. I told him, there is your only enemy. The fear, the alibis, the excuses, they are all in that reflection. That man looked hard at his own eyes, and he realized his alibis were lies he had manufactured for years. He stopped getting ready to perish and decided to live. He went out that very day and secured a job at a salary of $3,000 a year, a significant sum for the time. He became an executive in one of the largest firms in the city. He did not change his circumstances. He did not gain a new skill. He simply destroyed the fear of his own reflection and the fear of what others might say. The external world changed because his internal world did. The moment you see the fear of criticism for what it is, a useless, destructive emotion, you gain the power to discard it. It is a ghost. It has no substance except what you give it. Action. Step 1. The mirror technique. From today onward, you will use the most powerful tool for mental programming at your disposal, the mirror. Stand before a mirror daily, look yourself in the eye, and give yourself the command. Repeat this command to yourself with intense emotion. I will no longer be influenced by what they say. My ambition is my own, and the opinions of others have no power over my actions. I will act now. When you consciously engage in this act of autosuggestion, you are closing the mental pathway to the fear of criticism. You are commanding your subconscious mind to prioritize your definite purpose above the noise of the world. This is the only way to reprogram the fear that was implanted in you by years of social conditioning. Your thoughts, when mixed with emotion and repeated, become your reality. The mirror is your mental laboratory. The affirmation is your chemical formula. Action step 2. Destroy the fear of criticism. The greatest irony of this fear is that those who criticize you are usually the ones who haven't succeeded themselves. The man who is busy building an empire does not have time to criticize the man who is trying to build one. Only the spectator, the failure, or the small thinker finds the time to cast stones. Do not permit relatives or friends to handicap you through opinions. The path to achievement is narrow, and it often requires you to keep your plans close. Until you have achieved undeniable success, keep your definite purpose to yourself. Work in secret, and let your results announce your wisdom. If you must consult someone, consult only those who are already where you wish to be. The cost of a negative opinion is the cost of your time. Do not pay for it. You must understand that the desire to please others is a great mental prison. The free man is the man who answers to only one authority, his definite chief aim. The late bloomer cannot afford the opinions of those who have already surrendered to life. Action step 3. Autosuggestion for action. To defeat the habit of delay, you must program action directly into your subconscious mind. Before you go to sleep, close your eyes and repeat this command to your subconscious. Tomorrow I will do everything that should be done. I will not seek to avoid the unpleasant. I will perform the most difficult tasks first. Your subconscious mind is the greatest engine of habit formation in the universe. If you command it to procrastinate, it will execute that order with precision. If you command it to act, it will force your body and will into movement. Use the law of autosuggestion to plant the seed of action, and your waking life will reap the harvest of decisive movement. This is a scientific fact. What you tell yourself with feeling becomes your instruction. Use this power to command action, not to rehearse your fears. Affirm this aloud now. I reject the fear of criticism. I command my subconscious mind to take immediate, definite action toward my aim. Before we move on to the law of desire, the very first step toward riches, I want to speak directly to the man or woman who feels that their life is a monument to wasted time. You are not alone. The greatest figures in history had moments, even years, of delay and confusion. But they made a decision to stop the delay. If this message is resonating with your spirit, if it is giving you the firm, fatherly push you needed, then do me a simple favor. Press the subscribe button and engage with the material. This ensures that the laws of success are brought forward to others who feel they are running out of time. Now let us return to work, converting wishes into demands, the burning desire. Let us now address the core power deficit in your life. You are wasting your years because you are only wishing for a better life. You see a successful man, and you wish you had his wealth. You see a free man, and you wish you had his command of time. You see a healthy man, and you wish you had his vitality. But I tell you this, riches and success do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite plans, backed by definite desires, through constant persistence. Wishing is the mental posture of a beggar. It asks the universe to give you something for nothing, and it receives exactly that, nothing. Desire is the mental posture of a commander. It declares what you will have and determines what you will give in return. You must move from a vague hope to a burning desire. You must transform the meek, quiet request into a raging, non-negotiable demand. This is the first and most critical step on the path to any achievement. The moment you define your desire, you define your purpose. The vague goal is the refuge of the procrastinator. The man who wishes for money says, I hope I get a raise someday. The man who desires money says, I will possess $100,000 by the 1st of January, 2026, and I will do this, this, and this in return. Which man do you think fortune obeys? The one who has issued a definite order backed by faith. The $1,000,000 sermon. Observe the nature of a true, definite desire. It requires you to burn the bridges and leave yourself no retreat. Consider the story of Dr. Frank W. Gonzalez, who needed $1,000,000 to start a school where students could learn by doing. For 2 years, he spent his time thinking, planning, and figuring it out, but he did nothing. He was wishing for the money, hoping it would arrive. He was an educated man, full of noble purpose, but utterly paralyzed by the lack of a definite decision backed by desire. His intellect was out of sync with his will. Then he made a decision that forced his hand. He stopped wishing. He announced he would preach a sermon the next Sunday titled, "What I Would Do If I Had $1,000,000." The publicity from this audacious announcement reached the ears of a wealthy man who was intrigued by the idea. Dr. Gonzalez secured the $1,000,000 within 36 hours. Why? Because he stopped wishing and reached a definite decision to act. He put the force of his desire out into the world with a definite plan, the sermon, and a definite date, Sunday. He knew that if he did not raise the money, he would be publicly humiliated. He cut off all sources of retreat. When you reach the point of no return, when you have burned the ships and the choice is victory or utter ruin, you tap into a superhuman force of persistence and definite decision. That force is burning desire. It is the vital element, the spiritual motor that drives the entire success mechanism. Action, step 1. Burn your ships. You cannot succeed while you keep an escape route open. The man with 1 foot on the land and 1 foot in the boat is the man who drowns. You must have a white-hot intensity of purpose. Like the warrior who burned his ships to ensure victory, you must cut off all sources of retreat. You must eliminate the possibility of returning to the comfort of your mediocrity. Financial burning. If you are building a new business, cut off your emotional dependence on your job, even if you keep the income for funding. Start using your wages as investment capital, not as a safety net. Mental burning. If you are starting a new skill, commit to public accountability so that retreat is embarrassing. Tell 5 people your definite chief aim and the date you will achieve it. Irreversible burning. Take the first $50 of investment capital and spend it on an immediate, non-refundable business necessity, a domain name, a professional logo, or a non-cancelable course. This is a financial decision you cannot reverse, forcing you past the first gate of action. Your commitment must be total. You must win or face annihilation. The lack of a strong second option frees the mind to focus entirely on the definite purpose. Action, step 2. The 6 steps to definite desire. The vague wish is powerless. The definite desire, backed by a plan, is the foundation of every fortune. You must follow the 6 steps to translate a vague desire into its physical equivalent. Fix the exact amount or goal. Be specific. Not "I want more money," but "I will possess $100,000 by the first day of January 2028. Determine exactly what you will give in return. Riches do not come for nothing. Will you give time, specialized skill, expertise, or the establishment of a profitable service? Establish a definite date. The goal must have a deadline. Without a deadline, the human mind will naturally procrastinate. Create a definite plan and begin at once. Do not wait for a perfect plan. Start immediately with the first step, no matter how small or imperfect it may seem. Action is the greatest refiner of the plan. Write it out. Write a clear, concise statement of the goal, the date, and what you will give. This is the conscious command you issue to yourself. Read it aloud twice daily. Read it every night before sleep and every morning upon waking. Read it with emotion and belief that it is already yours. This is the law of faith applied through autosuggestion, planting the seed of the desire directly into your subconscious mind. This ritual of autosuggestion, applied to your definite desire, forces your mind to convert the intangible impulse of thought into the tangible reality of money or achievement. It is the spiritual equivalent of placing an order with the universe. an order that you, yourself, must fulfill. Action, step 3. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. The man who delays action until he has a perfect plan will pass away in poverty. The perfect plan does not exist in abstraction. You must put ideas into action immediately as they flash into your mind, even if you must change the plan tomorrow. The plan will refine itself through action. A plan on paper is only ink. A plan put into motion becomes a living, adaptable strategy. You must have the courage to make a decision based on incomplete information, and trust that your movement will reveal the necessary next step. Trust the process of emergence, not the comfort of stasis. The habit of delaying is destroyed by the habit of action. The late starter does not have the luxury of time for endless planning. You must act your way into the perfect plan, not plan your way into action. Affirm this aloud now. I convert my wishes into demands. My desire is burning and definite. I have burned my ships and I will win. The end of someday. The power of habit and persistence. Someday is the road that leads to nowhere. It is the most costly word in the lexicon of the failed man. You are a victim of a terrible habit, the habit of procrastination. And habits, I have learned, are like cables. We weave a thread of them each day until they cannot be broken. You have woven a cable of delay so thick and strong that it binds you to mediocrity and robs you of your remaining time. The chains are in your routines, not on your wrists. The man who says, "I'll do it tomorrow," has issued a command to his mind that has been executed faithfully every day for years. The man who begins a project and stops when the first difficulty appears has formed the habit of surrender. The only power strong enough to break the cable of a bad habit is the intentional formation of a stronger opposing habit. You must now use the law of habit to force yourself into action, backed by the power of persistence. Persistence is nothing more than the voluntary habit of continuous, definite action. It is the steady, unyielding pressure that wears down all resistance. It is the characteristic that will save the late bloomer, for it multiplies the value of every remaining hour. The absence of a great starting advantage, the lack of money, the late discovery of purpose, the years spent in the wrong environment, can be fully compensated for by the force of persistent action, the spell of failure. To understand the power of persistence, look at the story of Fanny Hurst. She came to New York to write, but she faced the same brutal discouragement that causes most men to quit. She pounded the pavements for 4 years, living on next to nothing. She received 36 rejection slips from the Saturday Evening Post alone. The average man would have said, "It is not meant to be. I am not good enough. I am out of time." But she did not quit. She persisted until the spell of failure was broken, and the same editors who rejected her began to accept her work. She persisted until she became one of the highest paid authors of her time. Her persistence forced the market to recognize her value. Persistence is what breaks the spell of failure. When you persist, you are telling the universe, "My definite desire is stronger than your resistance." And the universe eventually yields. The spell is broken when your effort crosses the threshold of your internal resistance, usually just moments before you were planning to give up. You cannot afford to quit. The man who quits after the first, second, or 10th rejection is simply proving his desire was a mere wish. The man who continues has the force of willpower and persistence, which makes his desire a reality. Action. Step 1. The worst first. To destroy the habit of procrastination, you must attack its strongest link. Every day, the most distasteful task is the one that causes the greatest delay. It is the task you figure out excuses to avoid. It is the task that saps your mental energy while you put it off. You must adopt the habit of the worst first. Do the most distasteful task first every day to destroy the habit of procrastination. By completing the most difficult thing, you gain momentum, confidence, and moral superiority over your day. Everything that follows feels easier. and the cable of delay is instantly weakened. This builds mental toughness. You teach your mind that you are the master, not your temporary feelings of comfort or avoidance. You conquer your day by conquering your greatest resistance. Action. Step 2. The persistence formula. Persistence is not a virtue that you pray for. It is a state of mind that you build through definite action and organized planning. It requires 4 simple elements, which must be combined to create an irresistible force. A definite purpose backed by a burning desire. A definite plan in continuous action. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. This is the absolute prerequisite for the late starter who must protect their hope. A friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with your plan. The master mind. You must consciously create these 4 pillars, and the habit of persistence will become automatic. Persistence, when organized, becomes a force that compels success. Action. Step 3. Hypnotic rhythm. You must understand the law of cosmic habit force. Every thought you repeat, every action you take, is weaving that cable of habit. You are not merely repeating a task, you are establishing a rhythm. This rhythm, once established, becomes almost hypnotic. It forces your life along a predetermined course. Your habits are spiritual commands given to the universe. Therefore, you must voluntarily direct your efforts along a desired line until the habit takes hold. The man who starts a habit for 21 days and stops is an amateur. The master repeats the action until the action is no longer an effort, but a necessity until the habit itself does the work for him. The force of habit is what saves the time of the commander, allowing him to delegate the effort to the automatic functioning of his subconscious mind. You must force yourself into the right rhythm, and soon the rhythm will command your life toward success. Do not say you lack willpower. You use willpower only to create the habit. After that, the habit sustains itself. The law is automatic, and it rewards only rhythm, not randomness. Affirm this aloud now. Someday is finished. I am a master of persistence. I do the worst first, and I will not stop until my definite purpose is complete. You don't need to know it all. Organized knowledge. We arrive now at the final great trap of the procrastinator, the illusion of the need for omniscience. You are waiting to figure it out because you think you need to know everything before you start. This is a fatal error, and it is the single greatest lie that keeps the late starter from beginning. You think you must have the degree, the full skill set, the specialized knowledge of a veteran. I tell you plainly, power is organized knowledge, but that knowledge does not need to be in your own head. The difference between the academician who studies wealth and the man who creates it is that the academician hoards general knowledge, while the wealth creator organizes the specialized knowledge necessary to achieve his definite chief aim. General knowledge is of little use. Specialized knowledge, intelligently directed, is the basis of great fortunes, and you get that directed knowledge through the law of the master mind. The man who delays because he needs more schooling or more research is simply delaying the inevitable, the point of action. Your remaining time is too valuable to spend years on generalities. You must move with speed and decisiveness, acquiring only the specialized knowledge necessary for the next step, and acquiring it from those who already possess it. The command of specialized knowledge is the greatest shortcut for the late starter. The Ford libel suit. The mastermind principle was made painfully clear in the famous libel suit against Henry Ford. When the Chicago Tribune called him an ignorant pacifist because of his lack of formal schooling, Ford sued for libel. During the trial, the opposition lawyer sought to humiliate Ford on the witness stand by asking him a series of ridiculous questions on general knowledge, history, science, and literature. Ford, tired of the spectacle, quickly grew impatient. He pointed to a row of electric push buttons on his desk and said, in effect, "If I should really want to answer the foolish question you have just asked, I have on my desk a row of electric push buttons, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I desire to ask concerning the business to which I am devoting most of my efforts. He summarized his wisdom by saying, I do not need to clutter my mind with facts. I possess the ability to coordinate the knowledge of other men for a definite purpose. Ford, who possessed little formal schooling, proved he was a genius not because he knew everything, but because he knew how to organize the minds of others. He had the law of the master mind. His knowledge was not stored in one brain, but organized among many brains working in perfect harmony. This is the antidote to the I'm not smart enough alibi. Your goal is not to become a university. Your goal is to become the conductor of the orchestra. The mastermind is your greatest time-saving device. Action, step 1. Stop hoarding. Start organizing. You must immediately stop trying to learn everything. Your time is too short for generalities. Decide what specialized knowledge you need to achieve your definite chief aim. Be surgical. If you need marketing, study marketing. If you need engineering, find the engineer. Get it from others. Hire it, borrow it, read it from an expert, or form an alliance with the person who possesses it. The moment you organize knowledge around a plan, you have power. The man who studies for 10 years before acting will always serve the man who acts now and borrows the specialized knowledge he needs along the way. Your mind is meant to be a command center, not a storage warehouse. Action, step 2. Form an alliance in perfect harmony. The mastermind is not just a group of smart people. It is a cooperative alliance of 2 or more people who work in perfect harmony toward a definite common objective. You must ally yourself with a group of people for the creation and carrying out of your plan. This may be one partner or a group of advisors. You must compensate them adequately, not just with money, but with mutual respect, loyalty, and commitment to the common aim. A mastermind is a transaction of value, not a casual friendship. You must commit to maintaining perfect harmony within this group, for disharmony is the single greatest destroyer of the mastermind principle, dissipating the energy created by the alliance. This alliance brings you power that is superhuman and irresistible. It gives you immediate access to the collective experience, wisdom, and specialized knowledge that you could not acquire in 100 lifetimes. The man who relies only on his own mind is working with 1 unit of power. The man who uses the mastermind works with 10 units. Action, step 3. Organize your power. The man who is trying to figure it all out alone is working with his own finite knowledge. The man who uses the mastermind is leveraging infinite power. You are not too late, because you do not have to walk the path alone. You must surround yourself with the specialized knowledge that complements your own. Your role is not to know everything, but to be the organizer and commander of the necessary knowledge. Your time is your most precious asset. Do not trade it for years of unnecessary schooling. Trade it for the wisdom of others. Organize to serve your single, definite aim. This is the economic law of organized knowledge. Affirm this aloud now. My power is organized knowledge. I will not clutter my mind with generalities. I command the specialized knowledge necessary to achieve my definite aim. Live as if it is already won. We arrive now at the final, concentrated command. Your life is disappearing while you figure things out. The man who finally realizes he is not too late also realizes he does not have 1 second to waste. You must not allow the rhythm of delay to take another heartbeat. You must not allow the fear of the critic to silence another thought. You must not allow the lie of more preparation to paralyze another action. The master key that unlocks all of Hill's principles, desire, decision, faith, persistence, and mastermind is this. You must live, think, and act as if your goal is already won. The power that creates success is not the power you gain after you have succeeded. It is the power you manifest through faith and persistence before the success is visible. This is the spiritual law that governs all great achievement. You must first believe it, then you will see it. You must wear the mantle of the winner before the battle is officially over. The man who is figuring things out is living in the future, hoping for a success that may never arrive. The successful man lives in the present, acting with the command of a leader whose victory is certain. You must stop asking for permission and start issuing commands to yourself and to the world. The man who refuses to serve the chains of habit, fear, and low expectation becomes the one who commands his world. It is not too late. The time that remains is your greatest chance, but it requires the immediate, unyielding application of this new oath, the command of decision. I refuse to be swayed by doubt. I reach decisions promptly and stand by them firmly. My life is defined by action, not analysis. The command of faith. I reject the fear of criticism. I command my subconscious mind to manifest my definite aim, and I speak and act with the unyielding faith that it is already mine. The command of desire. I have burned my ships. My desire is a white-hot demand for the specific goal I have written. I will give the necessary effort, and I will not retreat. The command of persistence. I embrace the rhythm of continuous action. I do the most difficult task first. I will not stop until the spell of delay is broken and my achievement is visible. The command of the master mind. I will not waste time learning what I can organize. I command the specialized knowledge of others, and I lead my alliance in perfect harmony toward our definite chief aim. You were not born to merely work. You were born to build. You were not born to be instructed. You were born to direct. You were not born to comply. You were born to create. And if you are still breathing, still hearing these words, it means it is not too late. But you must cross the final gate of procrastination today. You must understand this last thing, this singular absolute principle that separates the man who achieves his destiny from the man who merely observes it. The only true failure is the failure to try, defended by the habit of delay. The man who acts, even when wrong, gains experience and moves forward with the wisdom of the battlefield. The man who waits only gains age, accumulating regrets like a miser hoards useless coins, eventually passing away as servant to the clock he refused to command. I have given you the keys to the kingdom. I have laid bare the spiritual laws that govern wealth and command. You know the cost of hesitation, and you know the price of freedom. You cannot plead ignorance. Your struggle ends when your decision begins. Therefore, the habit of delay stops today. It stops at this moment, with the sound of my voice and the resolute power of your own will. You have the formula, the 6 steps, the mirror technique, the mastermind principle. You have the law, the unyielding, eternal law of decision and persistence. You have the command, the internal voice of your definite chief aim, which you must obey above all others. Do not permit the sun to set on your confusion one more time. Do not allow your subconscious mind to execute the order of surrender. You have the oath, you have the path, and you have the power, latent though it may be. You are not too late. The past is canceled by the intensity of your present action. Start now. But you do not have time to waste. The remaining years, months, and days must be maximized, organized, and directed with a singular, ferocious intensity. Let the world call you obsessed. Let the failures call you crazy. They only speak the language of the mediocre. This channel walks with you on the path of organized, deliberate action, a path forged by the greatest minds in history. Go now and command your freedom. Let your immediate action be the definitive proof that you refuse to live or pass away as a victim of delay. Before you move from this screen to take action, I ask you for 1 minute of your time to help ensure this message reaches others who need it. If this message has served to awaken your will and give you a clear path, press the subscribe button now. Your subscription is a commitment to continued growth and ensures you never miss the next lesson on the laws of achievement. If you found the law of decision or the concept of the burning desire valuable, click the like button. This acts as a signal to the world that serious, focused knowledge is still valued. Tell me now, in the comments below, what is your age, and what is the single definite goal you are ready to stop figuring out and start deciding on? Share your definite chief aim and join the community of action. The simple act of writing it down as a commitment is your first step out of the trap. Finally, if you know another man or woman who feels they are behind, who worries they have wasted too much time, send them this message. The greatest gift you can give a confused person is clarity and a firm direction. Give them the key to the law of decision.